What's up, guys? Today we installed this brand new 2-in-1 lane splitter exhaust for the Street Bob from SP Concepts. Now, first of all, this is just a beautiful pipe. You can see the welds. Everything looks really nice. It comes with exhaust mounting brackets and O2 sensor adapters with the gaskets, springs, mounting bolts. Looks like it has everything except if you were planning on changing your exhaust gaskets. That does not come in the kit. My bike's only a few months old, so we're gonna do this without installing the gaskets. Hopefully there's no problem there. But other than that, super excited to get this on the bike. Let's go over to the bike and start tearing it down. All right, so we got the bike up. First thing you got to do is obviously remove the exhaust. For the Street Bob in particular, it's a good idea to remove these heat shields first. It'll give you better access to the mounting bolts that mount the exhaust to the frame. Once you get this off, there's two O2 sensors. There's one right here. I had to take my side cover off to access it. Right here, you just pull the plug, and the other one is in the front, down below. It's this guy right here. So you just unplug those two, and then you have two nuts in there, and two more nuts in here. So we're gonna take that apart, get it all out of the way, and then we'll be able to prep for the install. All right, so quick update. Got the heat shields off the top and the back end of the lower pipe. There's two hex head bolts right here. There's also two more up here, but they are a pain in the neck to get to. I don't know if you guys can see those two holes. I've already got it out. It's at a really bad angle. So the best thing to do is if you get one of these on a ratchet that has the ball end, so you can kind of keep it at an angle. That's the best way to do it. I didn't have that. I had to do it manually by hand, so I used this and a vice grip at the top to give me a little torque to at least crack the bolts. So I've got those off. You undo these two. This is the bracket that holds the exhaust onto the header pipe. So you can loosen that up, take it all the way off, and then you can slide these two pipes off. And then we'll work on removing it from the engine itself. All right, so here's the update. We got the exhaust pipe off. Not as easy as they make it look on YouTube. And basically, it's these mid controls that get in the way when you're trying to pull this pipe out of here and it's connected. You have two options in my opinion. A, do what I did, chop the pipe, No plans on reusing it. Or my guess is you have to remove the foot control bracket here to be able to pull it right out. So just figured I'd let you guys know that before we continue. So we're at the point now where we're going to remove the O2 sensors. I believe this is 14 millimeter. And we're going to take the existing flange and this little clip here to be reused on the new pipes. All right, so now we're starting to put these pieces together and getting ready to mount them on the bike. The great thing about what SP Concepts does is there's a really nice video on how to install this. Tells you everything you need. So their step-by-step is really helpful in the process. But we've got our O2 sensors, we've got our flange and our clip. We're just going to put them on. These are the stock O2 narrowband sensors. So one thing you know is that the hole's way too big. So reach into your handy bag. Get a pair of adapters or a pair of plugs as well if you're going to plug it up. And make sure you use this copper gasket that they give you with it. Boom. We'll tighten her down and then we'll screw that in. All right, so we've got our O2 sensor adapter and the stock O2 sensor put in. We've got the flange here. Make sure this inlay is facing toward the intake of the pipe, and the clip, which you just have to pry over this unless you have some spring pliers, fits in just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosely mount these pipes, just hand tighten with the existing nuts, put the bracket up, and start to tie everything together. So you guys can see this bracket here is designed to go on these two lower bolts. You're going to pull out the stock ones. They give you these as a replacement. So we'll mount that up and then we can mount the muffler end and start to tie it all together. Okay, so we're ready to mount the pipe onto the bracket. They give you these clips here. You just slide them in just like this. And then when you slide it onto the head pipe, you got these two here. You just tighten loosely from behind for now. All right, we've got the bracket attached. You do have to sort of compress it some to get that bolt to catch in the back, so keep an eye out for that if you're planning on doing this. I still got the bolts loose up here. Still got to plug in my rear O2 sensor. Make sure you hear that little click. Then I'll be able to put that back on after I tighten these guys up. They tell you to just check for clearances, make sure it's not rubbing anywhere or anything like that. Everything looks good on my end. Fit is pretty spot on. I just got to install these little springs here that go on the back end here to keep the pipe attached to the header. But that's after I tighten the head bolts. All right, this might be hard to see because there's no good spot to put this light in where I can do this. So you have a notch here and a notch here. You're just gonna hook one end of this spring on, pull it across, and hook the other end, and that just keeps the tension under the two. So I'll try to do this with the light and camera in a decent position. But anyway, that's just the idea. I don't have a spring puller, I'm just using a needle nose plier. Boom, there she goes. Wipe it down, bring it down, and take her for a spin. All right, guys, the weather's been kind of rainy, so I haven't had a chance to take it out, but I did want to fire it up for you guys so you guys can hear what it sounds like starting from cold, rev it up for you guys a few times. I'll try to take it around the block to get some footage of that, but once the weather clears, I'm gonna ride it around a few times the way it is, without any programming, without any tune, and then we'll circle back in the next video. I'll pull out my tuner, show you guys how I download the tune and all that good stuff, and then I'll take it back out and let you guys know if I see any difference between the two different the variety of with and without a tune. All right, so let's fire her up and see what she sounds like. Cold start. Alright, there you have it. Sounds great. I think she looks phenomenal. Like, it really completes the bike now that the stock mufflers are gone and the stock headers. Definitely doesn't sound like a sewing machine anymore. Can't wait to put it on the road and see what the performance is like. And again, this is just the next step, so let's keep it going.